You probably got a scam call about your car's extended warranty every month. Well, those robo-scam calls started back in 2007. And that's not the only scam going around when it comes to car warranties. Today we'll look at different types of car warranties, what the major brand cars offer. Also, see if the length of a warranty means the car is more reliable or less. We'll also look at the 20-year warranty, but why you shouldn't fall for it. Car warranties come in all shapes and sizes. Let's start with the basics, which is the manufacturer warranty. It automatically comes with your new vehicle when you buy it. They say it's free, but actually built into the price of the car. It covers repairs to most car parts and systems that break down due to factory error. But watch out, these warranties don't cover damages caused by normal wear and tear, vehicle collisions or accidents, inclement weather, or environmental factors. Basically, a manufacturer warranty is the car maker's way of saying that they stand behind the vehicle they produce and that you shouldn't have any issues in a specific period of time. There are 5 basic types of car manufacturer warranties. You probably heard the term bumper to bumper. This is the most comprehensive warranty. Ironically, it doesn't cover the bumpers themselves, but the systems and parts in between. For example, bumper to bumper warranty can save you a lot of money if your car has issues with the electronics inside. This usually has the shortest coverage term in a manufacturer's warranty. Then there's powertrain warranty. This is another common part of a manufacturer warranty. Basically, this covers the parts of the cars that make it move. I'm talking about the engine, transaxle, drive shaft, transmission, and front and rear wheel drive systems. This usually covers the longest term of a manufacturer's warranty. Next up, we've got rust and corrosion coverage. We're talking about rusted through body sheet metal. This is especially part of a manufacturer warranty. Actually, did you know that some automakers offer lifetime protection for rust and corrosion? This coverage can be especially valuable if you live and drive in very cold, humid locations or near the beach in a salt water area. There's also emissions control warranty. The federal government requires car makers to offer a limited warranty on many emission-related parts. In particular, California has additional emissions laws which many other states choose to follow. Lastly, there's the accessory warranty. This covers a wide range of OEM auxiliary components like airbags, seatbelts, sound, and navigation systems. Let's say you're purchasing a car and the finance person at the dealership asks if you want to add on a warranty price on top of the vehicle purchase price. Well, he's not referring to the manufacturer warranty. He's talking about an extended warranty. An extended warranty is also often called a vehicle service contract. Technically, it's not a warranty as defined by the law. Pretty much it extends the time or mileage of the manufacturer's warranty. Extended warranty doesn't come with the car, so it's not free, but you have the option to purchase it. Just like the manufacturer warranties, extended warranties don't cover damages from weather, accidents, or driver error. There's another major difference between the manufacturer warranty versus the extended one. In many cases, extended warranties come from a third-party company like a finance or insurance company. But you should be cautious with third-party extended warranties that don't come from the dealership. They've been criticized as turning a profit by charging you more than they actually cover. True, some third-party warranty companies might give you the option to take your car into the dealership. But when it comes to getting reimbursed, the process can be a hassle if they don't want to cover a car part or labor. Now, different car makers offer different warranty terms. For example, most people have heard about Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis powertrain warranties. They have one of the best in the industry. They cover up to 10-year, 100,000 miles. Compare that to Toyota, whose powertrain warranty is 5 years or 60,000 miles, or Porsche, which comes with 4 years or 50,000 miles. But now let's talk about a 20-year warranty. Believe it or not, some independent dealerships offer this if you buy a car from them. It sounds like an amazing deal on the surface, but just look at the stats. The average American consumer switches to another car for 12 years. This means chances are, most likely, you won't even hang on to your car for that long to make full use of such a long warranty. So take that into consideration before you fall for the bait. Some people think that having a long warranty like 20 years means they're getting a more reliable car, but is it true? The short answer is no. In general, a longer warranty is better when it comes to long-term repair costs, but it doesn't say anything about the quality or reliability of the car. In fact, sometimes it can be the opposite because some car brands make high-quality cars that make little use of the warranty, like Toyota. Warranties may seem pretty straightforward, but don't forget there's always the fine print. Ironically, most warranties are implied warranties. They're legally binding, but technically there's no contract and no fine print to read. So be sure to ask your dealer questions about the warranty, like how the warranty is fulfilled and how it can be voided. Let's say on year 2 of a 5-year warranty you decide to sell your car. Will the warranty transfer to the next owner? Typically the answer is yes, because the manufacturer warranty is associated with the car's vehicle identification number and not the name of the original owner. So the vehicle's warranties will remain valid for the new owner up to the end of its original warranty period. But there's some exceptions, which I'll get to in a moment. Your vehicle's warranty is based on the in-service data, which is the date you bought the car, not the car's model year. Let's say last October you bought a new 2022 Honda Accord. Well, the warranty clock started the day you bought the car and drove it out the lot. In other words, October 2021, not 2022, which is the model year of the car. In the same way, let's say a new car dealership puts a new car into service as a demo or as a loaner. The day it's put into service is when the warranty clock starts ticking. So if you ever want to find out how much warranty is left on the car, your best bet is to call the dealership, provide the service department with the VIN number. There are some exceptions, like when it comes to Hyundai and Kia. These brands are well known for offering the best powertrain warranties in the industry, which is 10 years or 100,000 miles. But you just can't transfer these warranties to the new owner. That doesn't mean the warranty becomes completely invalid. It just changes to 5 years or 60,000 miles of powertrain coverage. It's the same thing for Mitsubishi's 10-year or 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. Now there's some pretty crazy car warranty scam stories out there. Most likely you probably got one of those scam calls where a robot voice says, "We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty." Believe it or not, the scam has been going on for 15 years. The fact that scammers are still at it just goes to show that sadly some people are still falling victim to it. But there are many other scams sweeping the nation. Scammers love to use fear and final notices to pressure you into buying a warranty. The problem is those warranties are nowhere near the coverage you expect to get. Many scammers use a pre-recorded voice to trick you into forking over some cash. A scammer's goal is to record your voice saying yes as a confirmation that you want to buy their service. Once you give them your credit card and personal information, you're in big trouble. Scammers often sell and distribute your information and voice to other scammers who are willing to pay for it. And it's not just through your phone that they'll try to reach you. You can also be scammed through the mail. A common one that's been going on is where consumers get a letter and invoice from so-called Department of Automobile Records, sometimes for thousands of dollars worth of repairs on a leased vehicle. Problem is, it's a fake letter and invoice. In 2016, car warranty scams got so bad that the Federal Trade Commission had to step in and get involved. That year, the FTC ended up mailing almost 6,000 refund checks. In total, that was over $4 million in refunds to scam victims. And that was over 7 years ago. Well, we'll get back to extended warranties offered by dealerships. Should you buy one? It depends on one thing: your personal driving need. In other words, how long do you plan to keep the car? If you're the type to trade in your car every few years, chances are the original manufacturer's warranty that came with your car won't have expired yet. So in that case, there's really no need for you to get an extended warranty. In general, if you plan to keep a car for more than 5 years, an extended warranty could end up basically paying for itself. This is especially true when it comes to luxury cars. Luxury cars have higher costs for repairs and replacement. Many drivers prefer to get an extended warranty simply for peace of mind. But there are some things to keep in mind if you do decide to go for an extended warranty. Remember, you're still responsible for regular maintenance on your car. Don't expect your warranty to cover things like changes to your oil, tires, or brakes. Also keep in mind that extended warranties can limit you as where you can get repairs done in order to get coverage. If you're not sure whether or not to get an extended warranty, you could do a few test scenarios. For example, a new car transmission could cost on average between $1,800 and $3,400 to replace. A fuel pump costs $450, and power steering pumps can cost between $500 to $700. For example, how much would it cost to replace an alternator? Well, if you have a Kia Sportage, for example, the average cost can be between $574 and $622. That's estimated labor costs between $132 and $167, plus parts priced between $442 and $455. If you have a Toyota Corolla, the average cost can be anywhere between $375 and $1,100. The estimated parts costs, including a replacement belt, could range from $290 to $600, and labor costs could be between $85 to $800. It just depends on where you get the repair serviced, so on and so forth. Unexpected repairs and replacements can be costly and stressful. The point is, you need to factor in the make and model of your car and then run a few common scenarios with the estimated time frame you expect to keep your car. Modern cars today are just so much more complex than the older ones. Today, the average new car has 30,000 parts, and they have between 50 to 100 separate computers. Cars today use a massive 100 million lines of computer code. Put into perspective, Android operating systems today are powered by just 12 million lines of code, and it's only going to get more complicated in the future. And then there's self-driving cars. Once these become more mainstream in the market, car repair costs surely won't be going down anytime soon. Self-driving cars will require even more comprehensive computer power, which obviously means more cost to you. But now you tell me, have you ever fallen victim to a warranty scam? Have you ever experienced a major factory error that made you happy you got an extended warranty? Please share by commenting below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for your support.